Hello to the one viewer who is here. Thank you for joining so quickly. This is going to be a very quick throwaway stream. Just wanted to say hi. And just do my usual thing really. I haven't been around much recently. I was away last week, so I thought I'd say hi. I managed to fix this thing up here, the sub goal, because that's been broken for about 2 months, and it's probably one of the reasons why I'm not getting any subs. Not that I need or want subs, I'm doing fine, but I'm lazy with Twitch layouts, with all of that stuff. I keep it, I keep it very simple. I keep the tech stuff to a complete minimum, but I managed to fix it. Today, so I don't know what I'm going to talk about. That's not a good start, is it? I've set up my let me bring up my site here. There we go. I've set up my pictures. Okay, not my pictures, my lighting. Okay, so that's one positive for me. And I tell you what I am going to do. And I've forgotten to do this. I'm going to change, just for the 1 or 2 viewers that have joined, 4 viewers, high 4 viewers, I'm going to put Twitter on dark mode before I, jump into the stream. So bear with me a second. Now help me out here. Do I do, don't want accessibility display. Do I do dim or do I do lights out? What do you prefer? I kind of prefer dim, I think. Lights out I don't know. I quite like dim. I feel like lights out is too dark, but I don't know. What's this colour thing here? Oh right, okay. Then in settings, are we? I kind of like blue, but I also kind of like. We'll go with green. That seems quite warm. We'll go with green. There we go. Right. Okay. There we go. I've got that on dark mode. I've got my site on dark mode. Ads to come next week, hopefully, around a Worlds partnership I'm doing, TBC. So I'll just run through some of the stuff I've done over the past week. I might even play Diablo at some point. I'll see. This seems a bit. Why is this doing this though? That's the only thing with it not being in. I don't know. Have I changed the background here? This is really annoying. Oh god. Tech errors. Tech. Let's have a look at. Do I add a white bar on the left there? Because this looks messy. I don't know why this is like this. Shouldn't be like this. I thought I fixed this. This. Hang on. There we go. Fixed it. Okay. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? That's a tiny bit better. Okay. What do I want to chat about? I mean, the Worlds is coming up next week. I'll just go through some of my tweets and just chat about that stuff. There's a few interesting tweets that I've retweeted this week, and I'll do some of the news stories. I'm getting closer to 7,000 followers. Thanks to everyone for following. Heffy, thank you for following the stream. Talking of followers, I appreciate that. I mean, let's start with this, shall we? So Heffy, I appreciate you gave me these comments. My God, I think it was back in April. So that's like 5 months ago, almost half a year ago, and it just fell off my list. I didn't get around to doing an article on this, and then I saw the update the other day from Teesside Live about the liquidation that the Wired Lobby's gone into. The Wired Lobby being a former esports and gaming bar in Middlesbrough that had all manner of complications, and actually Teesside Live are slow with this news, right? They've probably gone on the company's house page, seen the liquidation, and done an article. But it entered liquidation 3 months ago, from what I could see. Sorry, 2 months ago, July it was. Right. So if we have a look at this statement of affairs on the company's house, this was posted 18th of July, right? So this news is 2 months old. But the fact that no one's really reported on it kind of makes it fresh. So I jumped on this. I used your comments, Heffy. Thank you for sending them in. It gave me a bit of an angle that was different to what Teesside Live had covered. And I appreciate your comments. And also to Jack at Noctum Esports. So the Wired Lobby, people don't know, hosted a COD LAN earlier this year. It was set to open ages ago. I think it was back in 2022. I received a bunch of press releases about this bar that was supposed to open. It eventually opened late 2023, I think it was. I did an article here, set to open September 2023. The launch event was postponed. The LAN actually happened, I think it was February early this year, wasn't it? It was February or March, around that time. Heffy will be able to say. Hello, Heffy. We had great hopes for the venue, but it wasn't meant to be. Yeah, sad to hear. Micah Carnage, 900 grand kind of debt on a bar, though, is crazy. It is crazy, and a few people retweeted my article this week and commented on it and said similar things. You know, the parent company of the bar, Gaming Venues Limited, owed £923,000. That's according to Teesside Live and this company's house document. You can see all the, you can see the list here. Owed £400,000 to a Paul Jones this is a loan account. Another £400,000 to Middlesbrough Council. I think this was for funding, and then things like 30 grand to British Gas, 20 grand to HMRC, and so on. It's all listed in here. Employees 40 grand. You know, it's really sad, and to be honest, I haven't dug into this as much as I could have done. I hit a bit of a wall. I did reach out to a lot of the directors listed on Companies House, didn't hear back. I reached out to a lot of other people, didn't hear back. Heffy, thank you for talking to me. You're one of the only people that went on the record with comments. A lot of people didn't want to go on the record, and I heard all kinds of crazy things that I just wasn't able to corroborate. But at least we've got some kind of conclusion to this saga, but it's not a positive one. And but good luck to Katana, Heffy, setting up lands in other places. Keep me posted. You know me, I'm always happy to promote. I'm always happy to do articles. Helps with if you're selling tickets. People are searching for things on Google, they might see the article come up quite high up. So I'm always happy to support you guys, to support UK and Ireland esports. Keep me posted on lands, and I will try and cover the next one you do as well. If not myself, I've actually got a freelancer who has done some good Call of Duty stuff for me. John Nicholson done some stuff for me recently, and he's written a lot about Call of Duty for Gfinity, I think, in the past, and he's done a bunch of articles for me this year. So if you do a LAN event in the future, I'm sure he will be able to do some stuff. He actually did stuff for me years ago, 2019. There we go. He's done 2 freelance articles for me recently about UK talent in COD League this year, and the Esports World Cup as well. So yeah, March the LAN was. Yep, Heffy's the expert in the chat. Heffy says, I've heard the council is looking to sell it with equipment included. Right, Katana have some news that will be posted tomorrow, which might be of interest. Good luck. Well, feel free to DM me. But feel free to DM me, because people think I'm online all the time, and I'm not. With my kids and my life and everything, I'm really not online as much as I should be. You know, by this point, I need a team, really. I do rely on freelancers and things and people to DM me stuff. So if I miss it, just DM me and I'll drop you a retweet, or I'll look at it, whatever it is. I can't promise retweets, but I do my best. I tend not to retweet LFT posts, because there's so many of them. Sponsor announcements, there's so many of them. That kind of thing. Unless the sponsor is like, you're doing something special as part of it, like a boot camp, or an interview series with a pro player, or a documentary or something like that, something different. ZMS Esports Studio, how's it going? How are things with you? I hope my intros were all right. Let me know. Heavy says, would be good to have you events we plan to do. I'd love to go to. If you do any near me, it's easier for me to get to. London and so on. we'll drop you an update. Thank you, Heffy, and good luck as well. And cheers for the follow. So so that's the wired lobby thing. Okay, I'll come on to tweets in a minute because I've done a lot of retweets. I won't go too much into some of this stuff. The Thunder pick news is a little bit old, but I wanted to get onto it because Fnatic are taking part. They're London headquartered, and I do think this was quite interesting actually because Fnatic were knocked out in the first round of a qualifier to Ecstatic 2-1. This is a Counter-Strike tournament, and that wasn't good for them, but they're one of the invited teams in the World Championship. This is the Thunder Pick World Championship 2024, $1 million prize pool overall. So you've got Fnatic, Heroic, M80 and Falcons who are the invited teams. I just thought it was funny. Fnatic lost in round one and still made it to the World Championship because they were invited. What's the point if they're going to be invited anyway? Although I guess it's good for the lower teams to play against bigger names and so on. So that's that. I've done a few other bits and pieces. Phoenix League, go check that out. A Grassroots League. We've had the World's Talent and co-streamers announced this week. Not a lot of UK and Ireland talent this year. We've got Medic, Vedius from the UK. We've got Dagda from Ireland. That's it. We've had a lot more in the past, or at least a few more, like Munchables and people like that. We've had Oisin and so on. But and we've got Cadril as a co-streamer. Other than that, no UK talent. But I do like the look of this. I like Don Jake, Jamada. They've got a new talk show coming up, 6 Grubs and Chips. So League of Legends, they're going to be talking to players, and I'm sure it'll be very funny. And they're going to interview Bwippo first. So any League of Legends fans, go check that out if you've got a good sense of humour and you like their kind of style. Other stuff over the past week, I've been away. I was away last Thursday or Wednesday night to Tuesday evening. I landed back. I had a friend's wedding abroad, so I wasn't doing much at all. I was only doing like one article a day. Let's see what I've done while I was away. We've had some PUBG Mobile stuff. The World's Teams list has been confirmed. I will be doing a bunch of League of Legends Worlds news, even if it's not UK related. I think it's all UK related because the grand final's in London, so I'm going to do a bit of a Road to London series around that. And so not a ton of news this week, to be honest. Not a ton of UK and Ireland news. I've got a lot on my list to catch up on. I think I will come on to another piece of sad news in a minute, but this was sad to see a UK org go in K10. I think K10 have done some decent stuff in Counter-Strike. They won the UKIC inaugural LAN. They've had good impact at Epic LAN. They seem to have had some decent talent on their rosters over the past couple of years. Thanks to Taz, who gave me a bit of a quote, and when I asked why are you closing down, he said it comes down to me not being able to bounce back quick enough from illness. Things like sponsorship drive, financial input from me has slowed. As a result, we lost progress and momentum. And as you know, the market has never been harder to sell in. Another side is due to our small staff team and us all working to common goals. It became a matter of staff needing to find work. But all in all, we're in a good place for it to close. Not to harm our relationship to the community at this time, and leaves the brand to one day live on under us or under new ownership. So, he's looking at other opportunities, nothing confirmed yet, but for takeover offers, you can message Taz. So sad to see them go, and good luck to Taz and former staff and talent in the future. MQS, how are you? ZMS, we need to catch up chat. Yes, we do. Yeah. Give me a shout. MQS says the fact that the place in Middlesbrough didn't get robbed yet is wild to me. There's only one bit of on-screen talent I care about at LoL Worlds, and that's Jake. Where Jake? Well, he's not at Worlds, but he's going to be doing his podcast. Well, what do I mean? He's not at Worlds. He is at Worlds. He's not a broadcast talent, right? But he's not a broadcast talent, but he is a broadcast talent because we're going to be interviewing so many players and doing funny chats and everything, isn't he? So, who cares if he's not on the official broadcast? The fact that he's going to be giving us loads of great content, I'm looking forward to. He's done some brilliant interviews. Other stuff while I was away, we had a Scottish guy, a Scottish player, become the first ever Wimbledon E-champion. I had no likes on this tweet when I posted it. Does anyone care about tennis esports? I'm not sure. The game was Top Spin 2K25. Anyone care about tennis esports in the chat? I'll be honest, I don't really. I don't want to like poo-poo his achievement or anything like that. He still won a good tournament and a cool prize, in my opinion, a golden PlayStation 5. And I don't think the traditional esports community cares about this kind of stuff, to be honest. Hey Finlo, how are you? A shout out to Finlo as well, long running friend of Esports News UK's and of mine in the industry. Student at College of Esports who's doing stuff at Phoenix League now, which is like a grassroots League of Legends and Valorant tournament series. And Finlo's teaming up with Jack Dorian and Nathan Lucarini, have I pronounced that right, who have been revamping this league and bringing it up again. Timo Comet, thank you for following the stream. We've had a couple of follows tonight, so that's good. We're slowly building our follower numbers up. Good luck to them. They've added a new Emerald division, so anyone likes League of Legends, Valorant, and you like grassroots esports, go check them out. And if you've noticed as well, I did a little tweet today. I've just added AI text to speech on the site. So if anyone you don't want to read articles, you're doing work in the background, you can now click on this and it will read out.
Phoenix League Reborn. College of Esports students give grassroots LOL and Valorant tournaments new lease of life by Dom Sacco. Published on September 20th, 2024.
So there you go. Right. I really like it. Shout out to my web dev, Elliot at RelyWP, who made that months ago, and I've only got round to doing what I needed to do, and it took me all of 5 minutes. So I don't know why. I do know why it took me so long. I have too much on. My to-do list is a horrible document that would give nightmares to anyone looking at it, and I wouldn't wish that on that kind of pain on anyone. But anyway, PUBG Mobile stuff. We've got Guild have announced a partnership with PUBG Mobile. They're like a special host. They've received a host region invitation, being UK based, and they are going to compete at the finals. The PMGC finals. I can't remember what it's called now. Is it the PUBG Mobile Global Championship? I think it is in London at the end of this year. They will be competing. So they've received an invite, like Fnatic have to that other tournament I was talking about earlier. They don't have UK talent on the team, but here's their roster. There's all the info on the site. Again, I don't know how many people, my core readers don't seem to sort of care about mobile esports or even PUBG really for that matter. But I know there's a lot of people out there in certain territories that do follow it. So, I say a lot, I can't quantify that. There's obviously a community out there that follow it, but there was a UK angle there for me. It was good, thanks Finlo. Yeah, it was good. I went to Dubrovnik. I wonder if I can share any images actually. Can I bring up my Instagram? Just 1 second. I'll show you a few snaps. Actually. Can we see this okay? Yeah, we can see that okay, can't we? So here is some snaps from my trip. I went to Dubrovnik. So my friends got married in a little sort of seaside town in Montenegro called Perast. But the flights out there direct were more expensive than flying to Dubrovnik, and going to Dubrovnik was cool because there's loads of things to do there. You can do the Game of Thrones tours, right? Because that's where King's Landing is set. It's where the TV show was set, the King's Landing stuff. And my friends and I, in that picture there, I've known that guy in the middle and his wife for, I don't know what, 20 years. How old am I? No, more than that, my God. About 25 years. And so we went out together. and rented a car, and then did the road trip from Dubrovnik to Montenegro, which was really fun. Only takes about an hour to get from Dubrovnik, I think, to the border, or something like 45 minutes, and then we had another 45-minute journey, or like coastal roads and stuff. But it was actually very affordable renting a car. I had a few friends who got the coach, and they had problems because, you know, when you're on a coach full of people, when you get to a border crossing, you've got to get all your passports out. Some people want to go to the toilet. It took some of them like 7-8 hours to get the coach to do like a 1 to 2 hour journey, whereas we just whizzed through. And the whole trip we only had to buy €30 of petrol. Obviously we had to rent the car, but we split it between the three of us, so it was pretty cheap. So yeah, other snaps. This was Dubrovnik, I think. That's me with my Dench t-shirt, eating banana split and getting merry on wine. Had a nice pool near us. I mean, this is all, you know, this looks all lovely. Pretty affordable trip, you know, in Europe. There's me with a awful Hawaiian shirt, and there's my friends who got married. And yeah, it was really nice wedding. I'm rubbish with heights. There's me on the Iron Throne, so Game of Thrones. I didn't think this would be a holiday. You asked me how my holiday was. I'm going to send you. There's only a few more pictures, and I did the Game of Thrones boat tour and walking tour, which was really nice. There we go, King's Landing. There you go. I actually went there. So, but it's a shame because Game of Thrones. I didn't watch the last 2 seasons. I was disappointed, frustrated that they were making changes to the TV show, killing off characters who were still alive in the books. So I was like, right, I'm not going to watch the last 2 seasons. I'm going to wait for the books to come out, and I'm still waiting. So my hype for Game of Thrones died a long time ago. It would have been good for me to do this tour like 6-7 years ago, but there we go. So yeah, nice wedding, pictures with friends and stuff. There we go. You asked me how it was, I'll answer. I don't always show my human side. I always stick to esports, right? But yeah, there we go. Jack1402 says, I just got back from Greece and I agree, Europe is beautiful. It is, and there's so many places, you know, and I have to thank my friends that invited me to the wedding, really, and to do the trip, because had they not, I wouldn't have much of a holiday this year. Do you know what I mean? It's when people get married or, you know, invite you to things, it sort of makes you have a break, makes you have a bit of a holiday. So between that and the stag do, which was in Prague, I've had a good little break this year. Managed to go to Devon with my family. It's not been too bad a year for me compared to previous years where I've really had to scrimp and scrape my way through the tricky esports industry. I feel like, because I've been doing this full time 4 years now, I've built up a bit of a name for myself. So I do get brands coming to me now and then, you know, and helping out. So, you know, I can't complain. But it's still hard, make no mistake, in esports journalism and esports in general. We had an esports agency rebrand and secure €1.5 million in investment this week. So I've known Epic Global from Ireland for quite a while now, and they've been responsible for things like J-Lings Esports, helping Jesse Lingard get into esports. They've worked with, here we go, PSG, Munster Rugby, League of Legends. I know there was some controversies back in the past, but from my understanding it wasn't their fault. They've worked with P-Money, Virgil van Dijk, all of this stuff. So good luck to them with their rebrand. And there seems to be a lot of agencies, doesn't there, in esports nowadays. Agency seems to be the way for people to actually make a profit in esports, you know, with whatever it is, marketing agencies, social media, talent agencies, consultancies. They seem to, you know, have a bit more of sustainability compared to traditional esports orgs and whatever else. So there are a lot of agencies out there, but there's enough room for everyone. If you're doing good work, there's enough room for everyone to survive, thrive, whatever else. Lend Off Live, thank you for following the stream. I appreciate it. This kind of was a UK angle here. So Soulcast, who used to play for Team Liquid, won a few things with them in Valorant, is now with Apex, and Apex have been the dominant team in UK, Ireland, Nordics, Valorant, the Challengers North Polaris League. I don't watch it too regularly, but I see that they always win. I think for the past 2 years they've won both splits, and that for winning Polaris, you get through to the Ascension, right, which is all the national leagues, EMEA national leagues, winning teams playing a tournament basically, and they've won it. Last year they came really close. I think they lost 3-0 to Gentle Mates, who got through to the VCT, but Apex have done it. It was close. They beat Turkish side Pacific Esports 3-2 in the grand final last weekend, and with that win they've got through to VCT EMEA properly. So they're going to be playing against the big teams, Fnatic, Heretics, all of those guys. So congrats to Apex. I did a little article on it, and I also spoke to and what I like about this story as well is that late last year they put a new roster together, and one of the quotes stuck with me. The quote they said was where is it here? They put together a there we go. Put together a roster aiming to stand shoulder to shoulder with VCT teams, and they've done just that now, right? They've made it through to VCT, so I like that. They've got the UK Lithuanian player Solkas on his team. It sounds like Solkas has had a really, really tough year or so. I believe he lost his father, which is, just, I can't imagine what it's like to go through that. And he has tweeted about some of that stuff. I think he, so when he qualified, he said, "Champions of EMEA Ascension, I hope I made you proud, Dad." And in the post-match interview with Yinsu, he was quite emotional as well. I shared that on the Esports News UK TikTok, some of his quotes from there. And also shout out to Billy, who works for British Esports, has been doing a lot of broadcast talent work in Valorant over the past year or two, and is working her way up really well, and was on this broadcast as well. She gave me some of her quotes and her highlights on this stuff. Likes the talent that's coming through in Valorant. Gave a shout out to PCF, who had a really good story, nearly won it, didn't they? So yeah, just a positive story. And then I've also looked at which teams we're going to have for the VCT EMEA next year. Obviously, same as we had this year with Apex added. And I did look into this system actually, because I was like, well, they had 10 teams whenever it was, a couple of years ago, 11 teams when Gentle Mates were added. Now they've got 12 teams with Apex. What's going to happen? But yeah, there's a whole article on that. They were going to have auto relegation for teams that reach VCT EMEA from Ascension, but now a new performance-based system has been introduced. So, if teams reach top 4, top 6, whatever it is, they're more likely to stay in there, blah, blah, blah. There's all the specifics in there. I'm not going to go too much into the detail of that. But, good to have Solcast back at the top level in Valorant, and good luck to him. So that's that. Those are kind of the stories I've done. There's still a lot on my list to do. So in the meantime, I'll go through some of the stuff I've retweeted this week as well. Lendorf says shaky finals, nearly lost the grand finals like last year. Well, 3-2, it is very close, wasn't it? But I mean, last year it was 3-0. This year 3-2. At least they got some wins. But yeah, 5-game series can go either way, can't they? Really. Here are a few tweets and things that have caught my attention. Jeff Simpkins of Resolve, credit to him for just being very transparent. He's put below is a thread of what Resolve spent on Rocket League in 2024, includes what was spent on player and staff salaries, bonuses, bootcamp, travel, accommodation costs, and more. They spent nearly £100,000 on player salaries in 2024, so 92.5 grand. works out very roughly at 13 grand per month. So these are a good indication if you want to set up a team, or you want to run a team, or whatever, you just want to know these things. That's what it costs for player salaries. And bear in mind, this is just Rocket League, right? 3 players. You're in other games, you're going to be paying more, aren't you? Staff salaries, 50 to 60 grand, but that doesn't include his salary, I believe. So, that's going to be even higher. Bonuses 5 grand, boot camp expenses 16 grand, content 55 grand. A lot of focus there. Daily short form videos, you've got to pay people to do that stuff, haven't you? I do a lot of my TikTok stuff myself, but I don't have much of a life outside of my work. Total spend for the season is approximately £225,000, so almost £250,000. And that's just on Rocket League salaries and projects, right? It doesn't include staff like myself or Matthias, and only part covers staff who work on other stuff. Doesn't count generic orders, stuff like website rebuild or apparel costs, etc. It says we're far from being one of the biggest spenders, and if you look at season rankings, every team above us is spending significantly more. So I thought that was an interesting thread, so thanks for sharing that, Jeff. I've done the text-to-speech stuff, haven't I? Jack, thank you for retweeting my article. This story is this is a silly story. This is the kind of thing Dick Zerto would do an article on, but 1.6 million. Po Belter banned only for a few hours on Twitch for saying it's this stupid meme thing. He's done a pun on it. I'm not going to say what it actually is because I don't want to get, all that stuff. But he said, that you can read it there, split on that lane. If you know what it is, I'm not going to talk about what it is. But yeah, 1.5 million impressions on that. Po Belter, if you don't know who he is, League of Legends, former LCS pro player. I think he does streaming now. I just think he's quite a funny individual, and I follow him. He's done some funny interviews in the past. Yeah, and he said that Hawk ruined my life. I'll never say it again. I'm free. Thank you to everyone who supported me through these trying times. And he's also got a scammer going around impersonating him on Discord. So, never a dull moment with Po Belter. If you like League of Legends and you like funny things like Don Jake, MQS, you might find Po Belter quite quirky, posts some funny tweets and does some funny streams. We mentioned the Don Jake podcast thing. This was an interesting story from Esports Advocate here. When I retweeted it, I had a few people DMing me saying, hey, what are your thoughts on this, Dom? I could be reading it wrong, but my thoughts are, so what is it here? International Esports Federation, IESF board, held a vote to cancel is this the World Esports Championship? I think it is 2024, which is due to take place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at the end of this year. The vote was defeated, so it's still going ahead, the event, but board members were surprised by it being put forward in the first place. So obviously James, shout out to James, great journalist and reporter and site owner and fellow esports editor, has obviously heard from sources what's happened here. So ISF held what sources describe as an impromptu board meeting where board members were asked to vote on a proposal where the ISF would cancel the World Esports Championship set to be held in Saudi in November. Also, by the way, I got my idea, shout out to James again and Esports Advocate, because I got my idea for text-to-speech AI stuff from his site. And he tells me it was Tobias Sek that worked that all out. So thank you, Tobias. And all adding decent features to news sites. We're all helping each other. It's all good. Sources close to the situation told the Esports Advocate there was general confusion during the meeting and no itinerary or agenda made available prior to or during the meeting. Proposal was put forward by IESF President, His Royal Highness Prince Faisal, who's also the founder of the Saudi Esports Federation and Vice President of the Global Esports Federation. So if you don't know, there's been murmurings that Global Esports and IESF may merge at some point, right? And it's probably Prince Faisal's doing, that's what it sounds like anyway. Prince Faisal, prior to the vote, Prince Faisal also told board members if they were willing to cancel the event on behalf of IESF, the Global Esports Federation could be compelled to cancel its year-end event too, the Global Esports Games, listed as taking place in China in December. That's like a nations-based one, right? So you've got Britain versus whoever else, China and so on. Sources tell the Esports Advocate board members were generally confused and concerned about Prince Faisal putting forward a proposal of this nature for an event that is only a few months away, did not understand the reasoning behind it, given that member federations recently competed in regional qualifiers to gain a spot and a chance of its a cut of its $1 million prize pool. The proposal was alarming. It's I don't know. I mean, my take on it is that it sounds like Saudi, Prince Faisal want the Esports World Cup to be the main tournament. Maybe want to get rid of the Global Esports Games, the IESF thing. I mean, he's been sitting on the board of those two for a while now. Does he slowly want to get rid of them and get rid of their tournaments? And the other thing it tells me is that we may have a nations-based World Cup in Saudi in future years. That's my gut feeling. I mean, there may be reports on this anyway. There's been murmurings of this for ages, hasn't there, of a nations-based Esports World Cup in League of Legends a few years ago. So it sounds to me that's what Faisal wants to do, and maybe his thinking or others' thinking is that we should just have one nations-based big Esports World Cup tournament rather than multiple ones like Global Esports Games and stuff. So, do they want to control things more? I mean, it sounds like they want to streamline it. But I'm keen to hear your views on that as well. Let me catch up on chat here. Micah said Micah, is that Micah from the Esports News UK Discord? Hello, because I know there's a few. Or Mika, is it? Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Says, it's sad to me, riot system means there are a couple of teams per region that don't deserve to be in tier 1 but are because they paid a lot in a specific year. Yeah, it's and the Valorant system is kind of franchise-like, isn't it? It is. It's MQS says, I want to feel something for Resolve, but they have that money. So MQS, are you talking about the Prince Faisal now? He wants to monopolise global multi-game esports events, and two, he wants to spend less. There we go. I wonder why the sources didn't want to be identified. Oh, I mean, well, they'll probably get reprimanded, right? If they come out and publicly say, we didn't like this, that's not going to be good for their relations with other board members and so on. Could affect them. There's lots of reasons why people will come to journalists like James, myself, other people anonymously. I get it quite a lot actually, but I don't always, if it's something like this is interesting. MQS says, I wonder what sort of actions or behaviour could have made them do that. Yeah. Hey Tobias, how are you? I've just mentioned you earlier. Now you're in the chat. Love to see it on your site too. It's a neat inclusivity and convenience feature. It is, thank you. I'm still going through though. I don't know how many voices you have. Obviously, what am I doing here? The Esports Advocate is American focused, right? And global focused. So you've got your American voice.
Sources, IESF board held vote to cancel WEC 2024.
Yeah, so I'm going for more of a British thing. But I've got access to 6 voices and I've tested that. I don't like the first 2. Well, I don't feel they're right for Esports News UK. I think the first 2 are American voices. The third one...
Phoenix League Reborn. College of Esports students give grassroots LOL and Valorant tournaments new lease of life by Dom Sacco.
Yeah, see, I kind of like that one. It's kind of British, I'm with that. But then I did another one earlier. This was the 4th one.
$1 million Thunderpick World Championship 2024 initial teams announced. Fnatic to compete despite disaster in qualifier series.
So yeah, I mean they're all good voices. They're all good AI voices, but I'm going to try the next two as well. MQS says big fan of your work, Tobias, and James is also. Yeah, they've really built up a good site, I think. Mika says, why would you run a nations-based one when you already have the Olympics taking your money? Yeah, there's the Well, the thing with the Olympics though, Mika, okay, I've got it right. I'm going to make a note of that. Is it Mika from the Discord or is it another Mika? Is it the Mika who helped me with the Supervive article in the Discord recently? Let me know. I may have written this down already. The thing with the Olympics, though, right, is you're never going to get, well, you may in a long time, but you're less likely to get those traditional esports in there, aren't you? Like Counter-Strike. The IOC have said for ages they don't want Counter-Strike and games like that in the Olympics. Saudi will run them. So that's where I'm seeing the differences between the Olympics and the... and also in the Olympics, I don't know what level of players we're going to have. You know, I think the Esports World Cup, they want the best of the best. They want the fakers taking part there. Olympics, I'm not sure we're going to get that level of players. We'll see. Hang on, MQS, I've lost you here. The form for it is there. I was going to change it to Adam. Make it the Zoomer TikTok voice. Oh, it is, yeah. Mika, thanks so much for your help with that article. Mika C. The C is Carney, or in spaces where we don't do full names, Carnage. Ah, cool. Okay. I have a list of names. Don't worry, it's a good list of names. Because I'm a boomer, helps me keep track of usernames, people I know. You know, sometimes I know people under a different name to their gamer tag or their Twitch username, and then they come onto Twitch, and it confuses me sometimes. So I have a list for my boomer brain. I'll make a note of Supervive. So yeah, I haven't done a stream in a while actually. So shout out to Mika and the Supervive community, because I did a little article. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to add these. I want to add these as featured articles. Some of these are old. Some articles here are a little bit old. I want to add a couple I did recently. Let me just log into the site. I want to see this. So, I did a couple of articles recently on new games. New competitive games. One on Deadlock, Valve's new shooter MOBA, and one was on Supervive, which is this battle royale MOBA type game. And I really took my time on these articles. I wasn't able to speak to everyone I wanted to talk to. And actually I saw Maui Snake, I think, interviewed a UK player recently. I might right, hang on a minute, so these should be on the homepage now. Let me just see here. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there we go. So these two articles I did recently, I've put them in the featured post section now. And yeah, on Supervive, there was, you helped me with this, Mika. There was a UK player. Oh bloody hell, where is it? Oh, maybe I've got this wrong actually. Oh yeah, no. I'm thinking of Deadlock. There was a UK player that won this little Deadlock tournament recently. Zergy and Listic from the UK, and I think Maui Snake interviewed Zergy recently, and I want to watch that interview and maybe put it in this article. So yeah, we've got Deadlock going on. I mean, Deadlock is just going to ramp up and up, isn't it? It's Valve. But Supervive as well looks really interesting. I want to try and play it the next time. I had a chance to play it early this year. I missed out. I just don't get time to play games, unfortunately. I'm just all news and I'm all work and looking after the kids and stuff, which is quite sad. I get to play games a little bit, but not that much. Especially not games like this and League of Legends that, you know, you can just keep playing all the time. But I will try and play this at some point. But I really liked. I had devs from the game. I had a bunch of devs retweeting this and saying thank you and commenting on the tweets about it. So that is great. I don't often get that with many devs. Mate, I've probably because I'm writing about Counter-Strike, Valorant, League of Legends, you know, those devs are so big that they're not going to message little old me. But when a game is on the rise and maybe doesn't have many articles like this, they showed their support. So that was really nice. So, yeah. Mika, you being in the chat has reminded me of this article, so thanks for your help with it. And the game looks really fun. I wanna try it out. Do we have a... there we go. There's a game trailer here. Let me fast forward this little bit here, show some gameplay here. There we go.
Most wanted. That's their way to get their player back. They're just gonna keep fighting. Oh, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, Deadlock. Yeah. Yeah, I like the look of it. I do like the look of this. Just bring the quality up a little bit more. There we go. So it's like Battle Royale, isn't it? And you have, is it teams of 4? I think it's not teams of 5, is it? Like League. Yeah, I quite like the look of it, and I like the colours and the style of it as well. It's like League, but it's not like League. Obviously, the health above the champions or whatever they're called is like League, but yeah. So yeah, you reminded me of that. So yeah, interesting article by James Fudge. By the way, talking of Saudi and so on, Richard Lewis has done a bunch of things recently. I watched a video he published just earlier tonight when I was putting my kids to sleep. I skimmed through and watched some of that. When shilling for Saudi becomes shameless, interesting video, and I watched his take on the Maniac situation. We had all that happen the other week, which I decided not to cover because one of the main victims involved is a regular freelancer journalist for Esports News UK, so there was a conflict of interest there. I'm biased towards her. I don't know Maniac, but I think the coverage overall from news sites and things was good and fair on that. And Richard gave his take as well. So yeah, Richard's done a few good. Here we go. Yeah, this is it. Richard retweeted this as well. I want to watch this. An hour-long conversation by Maui Snake on pro, high MMR meta, and every single hero in Deadlock with Zergi, who was the hard carry of Team Michael's winner of the Aurora tournament thing. Yeah, and by the way, this isn't just about Deadlock. This article that I did is specifically about Dead Air, which is a new channel focused on Deadlock, the Valve game, with some UK talent, some good talent involved. Damp, Jackie, Blank, and thank you to Jackie for giving me some quotes, nice quotes for this article about the channel, about their ambitions, what they're doing next. They're actually working on a charity tournament. This is a charity event with creators, I think it is. Yeah, a content creator clash happening in London, October 9th and 10th. So yeah, they've invited me to that. I'm not sure if I can make it yet, but I will try to be there. That'll be cool to see a Deadlock thing in person. Again, I've got Deadlock downloaded. I was invited by some friends, but I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I've got too many games that I haven't been able to play. Mika said, yeah, Supervivor's squads of 4. It's not like that it's like League, it's that it's literally some of the top artists from back in the day. Okay. For example, the guy who did the reworked Mordekaiser design art. Hard not to look like League when it's still their work, I guess, yeah. Like League per se, not saying you're wrong entirely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I look forward to playing that. Any other stuff on Twitter here I have done? New Esports Journal. Haven't read this actually. Shall we have a little look at it together? How many people online? I know it's very late. 6 people online. I like that we have an esports magazine. Magazines are, I feel like specialist gaming magazines are kind of dead compared to what they were. Obviously, there's big brands like Edge and PC Gamer. I'm sure their numbers are a lot lower than what they were, obviously, in the past. But I like that we have an esports industry magazine from Esports Inside, I think, mainly, and they teamed up with someone else for this as well. I've written an article on this in the past, a few years ago. Guest authors, there we go. Kevin Hitt, another good journalist. Jeff Simpkins, who we were talking about earlier. He's written something in here. There's a good few names in here. Jack Williams from, I think, Itero Gaming, that was acquired by Giant X recently. And you can see there's other freelance journalists here. So there's Cecilia in here, who's going to be doing some freelance stuff for Esports News UK at Worlds as well. She's going to be in Berlin next week for the play-in, so I'm looking forward to that. Tom Daniels, Sam Cook, there's about Ivan is a great. I really like Ivan. I think he does some good stuff at Esports Insider, and Daffyd as well from UK. So there's a good mix of people here, and Jake as well, of course. This is a good little thing Jake's written here. So he's put, it's difficult to get a sense of scale of change that has happened to esports in the first half of this year. We said goodbye to familiar faces, Insomnia, Houston Outlaws, Sprout, Beyond Gaming, Vexed and more. Publishers from Epic to 2K Games have made cuts. So yeah, this is more of like a general look at what's happened over the past quite a while, right? The past year or so. We've ushered in change. Third-party tournament operators, Esports World Cup is talking about. AI and data, new opportunities. Yeah, literally added the AI thing to the site today. Yeah, Western orgs, iron markets, far from home. Mobile titles like Mobile Legends, you know, PUBG, the guild stuff I mentioned earlier. I like, what is this here? So 2024 has been a momentous year for the wider world. Major elections, conflicts and growing geopolitical tensions that threaten to upend the status quo with implications for esports. Read on with a drink in hand and journey through an exploration of all of the above topics and more. What if I want to read without a drink in hand? This sounds like a command to me, Jake. Read on with a drink in hand and journey through. Right, it's not. Why not read on with a drink in hand? Read on with a drink in hand, and what drink in hand? Because I mean, Jake, I've got water here. Does that work? Or does it have to be an alcoholic drink? Is that what you're saying? Esports is hard. Is still so hard at the moment. You need a stiff drink. I like that from Jake. Is the esports spring here? No. That's my opinion. Okay, so this is Cecilia writing this. I won't read, obviously, the whole thing. I might have a little skim. But... Oh, this went online. I've read this one. I've read this one online, I think. Either that or Richard Lewis may have read some part of this online, or someone did on a stream, I think. Let's have a look at what the other articles are. Sponsoring Scholastic Esports, so that's like collegiate stuff, isn't it, in the US, I think. Learning from sports. Should collegiate esports be path to pro. So there's quite a few education focused stuff here. It's reminded me, actually, I've got a freelance thing I need to do Monday. I need to hurry up with that. Esports degrees. There's a lot of esports education stuff in here, isn't there? Wow. Eat more esports education stuff. Esports journalism in crisis? ? This is by Yiska, who's done a lot of good stuff, I think, in Overwatch and other stuff. How do I zoom in here? This looks like it's a good read. Can you see this okay? Yeah. While new outlets were still opening across the scene with at least some financial backing behind them in the mid to late 2010s, that economic energy has now been diverted to the many sprawling PR firms which, to add insult to injury, are often staffed by former esports journalists. Yeah, and they're staffed by people that could have been really good journalists, in my opinion. But there's, because journalism isn't sustainable, I don't blame those people for going to PR. We've lost people like Adam Fitch, and I say we've lost, right? With my journalist hat on, I would have liked to have seen people like Adam Fitch and Med Kay, build their careers up in journalism, and they've gone to PR. And every former journalist I speak to who's gone from journalism to PR all say they're glad they did it and they don't miss journalism. And that's sad, isn't it? That is really sad. I think social media has taken over journalism. I do. I think, if you know how to play algorithms on socials, that's half the thing these days. Why do people need to go on a news site or buy news when they've got all the content they could want from specialist people they follow on social media? Some of those people are journalists or can be like journalists, but anyway. It's changed a lot, hasn't it? It's changed a lot. How do you make journalism entertaining enough to compete for the click while beholden to the standards of its field? Good question. A question few have successfully answered so far, though it remains the lowest hanging fruit to feed the industry during esports winter and beyond. There's been an exodus of talent that's both alarming and telling. Even award-winning reporters, once the pride of esports media, are moving elsewhere. Newcomers who previously showed promise and could have gone to serve the industry are turning away. Some of esports' best have given it an honest try, but only very few have managed to create revenue streams through their dedicated fan bases, often only thanks to other roles they've taken on within the industry to make ends meet. Yeah, I still do freelance stuff. The primary drain of work hours goes to SEO journalism, right? Writing for Google. Other, arguably luckier ones engage in content creation that also stretches the definition of journalism, reaction commentary, broadcast work, ghostwriting and more, all in service of building personal brands and keeping the lights on. Admittedly, pure journalism that a few at big outlets got to enjoy was probably never fit to survive at the humble scale of the industry and was propped up by venture capital before it lost its faith. The field is increasingly beholden to dubious sources of revenue, with grey market crypto gambling ventures and businesses tied to sovereign wealth funds now holding considerable sway over the industry at large. The precarious financial landscape presents a clear and present danger to journalistic integrity, forcing many to walk an ethical tightrope and fight the unwinnable internal battle of Chad idealists versus coping is that utilitarian? Utilitarian? Challenges extend to the very foundation of journalistic practice. Yeah, it all puts it all into perspective. This is well written, and it makes me sad reading it. Yeah, it may no longer be traditional news outlets that source journalism, but an eclectic mix of content creators, industry insiders, and the remaining passionate enthusiasts who've taken up the mantle, abandoned by mainstream sources that have deprioritised esports in recent years. That's what I was saying. We're going to see more things on social media, and just creators and commentators. I don't mean casters. No doubt dedicated esports publications will continue to struggle, and there will be fewer capital J journalists in the short term, veering towards a decentralised future, one that redistributes narrative control from professional journalists to engage community stakeholders. It will be upon the audience and the old guard to hold the new truth tellers to account. That was a good article, that. I wonder if Yiska has written about that or when that was. I've still got 7 viewers, and I'm waffling about esports journalism. Why Juventus is doubling down on esports? I didn't know they were. My focus is on UK, right? So I know Wolves and Man City are doing well. Juventus, I say doing well. They're doing lots of stuff in esports compared to other Premier League clubs. Future of esports spectatorship, the influence of streamers on esports. I think that's a good topic that needs to be explored more as well in general. Data powers AI applications. This is a sponsored article by Bays. How AI works and doesn't in esports. That might be a good read, that one there. Spectator, what is this? I don't know what this is. Standout content in a crowded industry. Software development company Spectator is bringing new tech. Yeah, more AI stuff, isn't it? I will read this in more detail at some point. Betting stuff. I think that's an ad there. The rising importance of Southeast Asia and the good and the bad of Rocket League. This is what Jeff wrote from Resolve. So Jeff talking about the good, the bad and the ugly of the current Rocket League esports scene. What needs to improve? Commercial opportunities in Rocket League aren't the best. Need to revert back to a format that rewards teams for placing highly in previous tournaments. Major events and production is where Rocket League Esports excels. I really liked the London Major a few months ago. I enjoyed that a lot. Mobile Legends. Topar Protality EMEA Tour. What is this? Run by Turkish tournament organizer Esports 360. Oh, it's PUBG. Okay, in EMEA region. Will Blizzard ever pull off World of Warcraft esports? Well, there's the thing going on this week, isn't there? I don't know if anyone in the chat's been watching it. I don't know how Method are doing. What's it called? So quite a lot of the orgs here are 4 out of 8. Liquid and Echo on 5 out of 8. They've cleared. Okay. I know, I appreciate this isn't the most thrilling of streams. I mean, I don't do the most thrilling of streams, I know that. Reading the Esports magazine with me at midnight on a Friday night. I can't watch World of Warcraft esports for a long amount of time. I like the big moments when they get a world first and stuff like that. But I'm not going to sit down for hours and hours and hours and weekends to wait for that moment. I'll just watch the clip, then move on to the next thing. This was deeply sad news. I was away when this happened. I'd still have it on my list to write an article because I like to pay tribute when things like this happen, and just take some of the comments that people have made, offering condolences. So Millie Dux Ward passed away. This was tweeted by Tadpole, the former Resolve. I think Tadpole's not at Resolve anymore. Yeah, previously head coach and manager at Resolve. Welsh Rocket League coach and manager. Said, today I've been informed that Dux has passed away. Her family would like to inform friends and the community of her passing. I'm shocked and incredibly saddened by this horrific news, and my condolences go to her close friends and family at this time. Dux was a UK Rocket League player. I think had played in some of the women's scenes and tournaments. When I googled Dux and saw this, I'd mentioned Dux in quite a few of my articles, actually, about a handful of my articles in recent years. Always sad to see this. It was quite shocking, and yeah, it's no age, is it? I'm assuming Dux was 20s. And Resolve put out tweets saying we're just devastated to learn of the passing of Dux. Deeply upset by this news, and our thoughts and prayers are with Millie's family and friends at what will be an incredibly difficult time. So yeah, like I say, my condolences. Really sad to see that story. I mentioned K10 stuff. Yeah, so I haven't tweeted that much because I've been away. This was an interesting storyline. Ashley Kang tweeted about the world stuff. Faker and Deft, again, this sort of rivalry, this friendship rivalry thing. They're there at the top level. Only one team could go through and qualify for Worlds. It was Faker and T1 that got through. In the end, they faced each other, didn't they, a couple of years ago, and Deft won. It was amazing. That was it in 2022. I found esports in Dubrovnik on this, Arena Esport platform has reopened. I was at the little soft relaunch thing the other week in Shoreditch, the bar in Shoreditch. Not esports, but rest in peace to Darth Vader, James L. Jones. More sad stories. And then I'm going quite far back here. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's it, everyone. I think that is it. Arcane's coming back. I don't know why I'm not that hyped. I think it's been too long since season 1. It's been 3 years. Season 2 starts November 9th, so I will be watching that, but I think it's taken too long. But I understand, you know, the animation and the detail and the hard work talented animation studios have to put into this stuff, so I get it, but it is a long time, isn't it? 3 years as well. So yeah, I think that's it from me, everyone. Thank you for watching and all that stuff. I appreciate it. I could do, before I go, 1 second, see if there's any other news. No, there's a lot of no. Okay, that's it for me. Can you tell I'm tired? MQS says, I actually belly laughed after Method revealed their latest sponsor. Was this the Kadia? Because I mentioned this a little while ago. MQS, and the reason I didn't pull it out as a main thing was that I wanted to focus on their plans as a whole, their casters, all of that stuff. I could have pulled it out, but I saw that Esports Advocate did, right? So that's, I guess, and that's where you saw it. But I did put in here, partners for the event include SteelSeries, Arosi, Saudi Esports District, Kadia, Holy, Fateless, and Rested XP. So yeah, they did announce that a little while ago. Jack, see you, thank you for tuning in. I'll just catch up on chat and then I'll head off. Mika says Rest World First are arguably analogous to speedrunning, to be honest. Not sure if it ever should be trying to brand itself as esports since it's doing better under that big event banner. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Yeah, you want to be there for the world first, world records, but prob's not going to bring tournament-esque crowds, exactly. Yeah, MQS says, imagine being known for what they're known for, then taking Saudi money. Well, no, it's not a perfect industry we're in, is it? But do you know, I know all that stuff that happened with Method, whenever it was 4 years ago. That was actually my most read article for a very, very long time. That article went crazy on my site. I don't know if it was because I was first to write about it. I don't know what it was. I had like 150,000 views. I never get that kind of amounts of views on an article, but a lot of people were reading that. A lot of people. I know it's a long time ago now, but still. But before that, you know, Method were always winning Race to World First. I love that they were UK org and always winning, and you know, with all of their most of their good raiders performing Echo, and then getting the world first. I know, you know, it was an awful situation. Method have done what they've tried to do their best since, haven't they? And put in place the you know, better guidelines. I've covered it all in the past. It was years ago, wasn't it? The safeguarding stuff, all of that. So part of me does want Method to, you know, turn things around and get those world firsts again. They are a UK org and all that. I had people moaning at me as well when I did this article saying, why have you done a preview for Method and not for Echo? Well, Method are a UK org for one, and they got back to me straight away and gave me info and stuff for this article, right? If the others, you're not going to get back to me, it's just harder for me to do my job. I can do it. And I did tweet about Medic and Preach and so on being streamers for the Rest World First for Echo. But yeah, anyway, I'm waffling now. I'm tired, so I'm going to head off. But I wanted to do a little quick fire stream. I've said a quick fire stream. I've been streaming for 1 hour and 15, so there you go. Thanks everyone for your support, for your views, for your follows, for your everythings, and I appreciate it. I'll hopefully be back again next week. World stuff is going to get busy now. Next month or so, I'm going to be doing a lot of Worlds content. My freelancers and I, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, have a lovely weekend, and I'll catch you soon. Thanks for all your support.